So in this exercise of data flow activity, we are going to perform this case study where we have an input data, which is nothing but a raw sales data. And in this raw sales data, we have these columns like sales ID, region, year, amount, discount, and category. Okay. So the first important thing that we have to do is we have to drive the columns. Okay. And you can see, so imagine this is the, this is a table, a simple table. These are the columns which is available in my source data. Okay. And this column I have to drive by myself. Okay. So net amount, how net amount is getting calculated? Net amount is getting calculated by subtracting your amount minus discount. Okay. So, so this is the formula I have written just for your reference. So first of all, the amount should not be null. Okay. So whatever value coming in this column, if it is a null, then our formula will be a problem, right? So this formula should only work if amount is not null. So if amount is not null, okay, and discount is not null, discount should also not a null, right? Then amount minus discount, it should perform amount minus discount. So this is the expression we are going to test, okay? And using this, we are able to, get the experience of how we can write the expressions. Okay, now coming to the discount rate, how discount rate will be calculated? Discount divided by amount multiplied by 100. Okay, then again the formula is there. So this is the exercise where we will test the derived column opportunity. The another one is we can do filter also using the data flow activity, and that filter is nothing but we have to filter out rows with null amount or region. So if amount is having, null value, or region is having null value, that has to be, removed out. So this exclamatory sign is nothing but it will gives you not null, not sign. Okay, for example, if something is not equals to, so equal to and after explanation, this explanation is used for not cases. Okay. Aggregate transformation. So when I'm talking about aggregate transformation, imagine if I'm having, for one sales ID, we have couple of records. For example, one sales ID was there, and against that sales ID, we have 5 records. Okay. So during our analysis, everything is same, but we want to, aggregate these 5 records into single records, right? This is the meaning of aggregation. And how aggregation can be performed? Aggregation can be performed on the basis of some values. For example, if you want to aggregate, because summation can only happen on the values, right? It cannot sum the region. For example, region is a Delhi region or Bangalore region, right? It cannot sum the regions because these are the text. Only values can be summed, right? Added. So in this way, aggregation is another kind of transformation that we will be performing, and that aggregation is done for every region and year. Region and year. Okay, so group by option is there, region and year, and how data will looks like we will see after that aggregation. Okay, so we will check our data preview, and so aggregated columns, we will have to find out total sales and average discount also, and this is the, concept of, this is the formula for total sales and average discount. Okay, then we have surrogate key transformation. So surrogate key transformation is nothing but, you can see, if you want to generate some IDs against every record, right? So we can use this. Anyways, before going in so much of detail, first we will have to, continue with this exercise. So what we should do, the first we should get my raw data available in my storage account. So I can go to my storage account in my containers, and I can create a new container which will say the data flow. Okay, data flow. I just named this as a data flow. Sorry, I am using uppercases. Data flow. Okay, I will hit on create. It is already created. So I don't know where it is created. This is the created. Okay, I will go inside this and I will upload my file. I can go here. This is my data flow and this is my file. So I'm going with smaller set of data. Okay, as of now, just for the purpose of learning. Then we will add more rows inside this data. So if we go inside, if I go and edit, you can see these are the records we have. Fine, we have null value as well, so that we can test everything. Like we have null value for year, amount, okay, and discount, okay, and all. Anyways, so this is the data which we are going to export now. So quickly, what we will do, we will hit on this, within this pipeline. I'm going to create a data flow. So I will give a name as data flow, raw data, something like that. Raw data, okay. So rest of the thing you can keep as it is. So you can see that this is nothing but a timeout functionality. Okay. So after how much time it will be getting failed. So maximum amount of time of an activity can run. So what is the default value? Default value is 12 hours. Okay. And the first digit is nothing but day. And retry, after how many maximum number of retry attempts should be there, and retry interval is 30 seconds. So these are self-explanatory things. So we have given the mandatory column, it is the name. Okay, then what we will do, we will give the data flow. Okay, so data flow is something that we have to create. Fine. So we have to click on this new icon. Now here is the data flow. So we have to give a data flow name. So I'm going to give with a naming convention as df underscore raw underscore sales input. That's it, not input. Okay. So I have to first add source. So when I'm adding source, what is the meaning of adding source? So what is my source? So this is my source file, which I just now extracted, uploaded here. Sales raw data is my source file, right? And what kind of source it is? It is a source which is stored in CSV format. It means it is, we have to use ADLS Gen 2 as a type of data set as a ADLS Gen 2, because we are uploading this as a CSV format. Okay, guys, is it making sense? Okay. So what we are going to do here, we have to define the source. So I'm just giving the name of the source is sales raw data, something like that. Okay. And if you go at the bottom, okay, let me hide this to make some space. I can stretch this out also. So here we have these many tabs: source setting, source option, projection, optimize, inspect, and data preview. Okay. So what we are going to do is you will give some description. So you can give the description like this contains, because in our project we used to give like that. This contains sales raw data for transformation. Okay. So why you are creating a data flow activity? You are creating a data flow activity for transformation. Now there are two possible options we have: something known as data set and something known as inline. So what do you mean by data set? You have already seen the data set options we have in the copy activity. So in data sets, we can select the particular file and containers. So files and containers should be available within those containers, right? And we have something known as inline. So inline is something where dataset is not required, right? So you will just select your the inland source, and then you can inline source, and then you can do that. We will talk about this later, but first select as a data set. So because I don't want to give any new concept at this stage to you guys, because whatever you have done so far, we have to manage our case study using that. Later on we will see that other options. So what kind of data set we need to prepare? We need to prepare ADLS Gen 2, because our data is available in my container. Okay, and that is in the CSV format. So I'm going to hit on this ADLS Gen 2 option, and because it's a CSV, so I can choose CSV as a format, and I can give the name as ds underscore raw sales. Okay, and that's it. Input you can write, right, like this. So the link services you will have to choose because it's already done. So here this option comes for interactive authoring capability, because this is the first time today I'm using and I have not enabled it, so I'm going to enable it. Okay, I will hit on apply. So it will take some time to get it done. Okay. Okay, it is done. So you can hit on OK. So now this data set is ready. Sorry, I have done something wrong. Okay. Okay, no problem. We will see this later. So rest of the things like allow schema drift, this thing you should keep by default. Okay. So select allow schema drift if the source column will change often. Means because source column, whatever column name we have given like sales region, if they are not changing on a regular basis, then we will use this setting will allow all the incoming field from your source to flow through the transformation to the sink. So whatever changes will happen, right, then it will flow. Flow means it will update to the rest of the things, because if I change the name of the column, it will do automatically, right? So skip line of count. No, I'm not skipping the line of count. Same option you have seen in the copy activity where we have used the source data set and we have used the skip, and sampling is disabled. Okay, that's okay. I mean, we are not having so much of data, so to get it done. So here it's done. So we will go inside the source option. So nothing you have to select in the source option as of now. So what is the maximum column limit? This is the maximum column limit. Okay. 20480. If someone asks in the interviews, you can ask, give this response. Now, what is a projection? So we just, we don't have to give any projections. Okay. And these are the partition options that we will cover on the later part. So what is the meaning of partition? Basically, if data volume is more, right? So we will be using either a single partition for less volume of data, and if data volume is more, then we will have multiple partitions, right? So right now, by default option comes as use current partition. Inspect, it will give you the column, but because I have not selected the import sections, so that's the reason. Data preview, it will only show you when you on this data flow debug mode. So again, because these are very, costly transactions. Costly means it will take you the money, right? So definitely we will go with 1 hour of time to open this, because you should not turn it on whenever any, for entire 24 hours. You should do it for only when you are doing any work. Okay, then only it will show you the data. So we will have to again wait for some time, because data flow debug option I have turned it on. Okay, so let's wait for some time. So till the time it is taking time, but we can create the other columns. Okay, we should not wait for this to complete it. Okay, it will be running at the background, so no problem. So we will click on this plus icon, and the next thing, because we need to drive the column, so we have multiple options are there. Okay, the first option that we are going to choose is the select option. So what the select feature does, so select feature will give you some flexibility. Okay, and what the select feature will do, select feature will give you the option to rename. Okay, or rename any column, or if you want to select or delete, this will give you an opportunity to select or delete. For example, if you don't want this year column, imagine, right, you can delete it. Or you, if you want to convert this sales with some other name, right, sales means sales order, or sales ID, something like that, so you can rename that as well, right? So these are the options you can do here in select. So what we are going to do, we are going to use this select option, because we have six, it's saying 6 columns in total we have. So if I click on this select, you can see you can give the options what you are going to do here in description, and this is nothing but a select option. So in this select option, if you drag it to the downwards, you can see we have two options: skip duplicate input column and skip duplicate output column. So as its name suggests, guys, so what it is doing, if you have a duplicate column, for example, if region is coming 2 times, okay, in the source, so there is a useless to put that reason. So anyway, so this debug data flow is turned on. So what I'm going to do here, I can now preview the data. So you can see for data preview, this turns into green. So as soon as I refresh it, whatever data I'm having in my source file, Okay, data source. This will be available to me to visualize it. Okay, so this is how you can see the data on a real time basis, what you are going to load and what is the, if there is any problem you can see that as well. Okay, so anyway, till the time it is coming, I can go once again to my select query, and here you can see we have, okay, then error occurred. I don't know what the error has occurred. Okay, an error has occurred. So let me check why the error has occurred. Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh, my bad. It's saying at source sales raw data container or file system is required. Okay. Okay. Maybe I have not selected the appropriate file. So let me check once again the data set. So I can go to open. Oh my God. So this is the problem. I have not selected anything. Okay. So let me click and select my so this is a silly mistake that which is committed, so I need to select this raw file. Okay, CSV raw file, and what I'm going to do is I can preview data as well. Okay, so you can see the data here. So this is the best option. Whenever you are creating a data set, you should always preview the data. I can go once again, and now this time I will hit on this refresh icon. The data will be visible for me. Okay, and now so going forward, what I can do, I can rename this. So when you're saying you cannot change this one, okay? You cannot change. But here, if you can see name as, you can change this. So for example, if I want to mention like sales is nothing but sales document number, or we can say sales document, something like that. Region is fine, year is fine. I just want to convert, this year into, capital letters. Okay, so that's all. This is the only thing, only I just renamed. So what I'm going to do, i I can mention here in the description as renamed, sorry, rename sales ID as sales document number, comma, what is the next thing, rename year as year. Okay, that's it. These are the two things I have done so that anybody can, easily see what activity we are doing. Okay. So this is the best approach. Now I can go to the other things. Other things is okay. I'm not going to change anything. Okay. So this you can see, you have two toggle button. One is input and another one is output. So if you see sales ID, because I toggled into output, that's why it is showing output. If I toggled into input, this will show only input. Okay. That's it. So I can directly go to data preview and I can refresh this once again and I will see the data will be visible this point of time. Okay. Yeah, you can see data is coming. Got it. So now because I have created, sorry. Mm, So I have to click once again because sometime it got, because if you scroll here and there, it will move up very fastly. Okay, so we have used select option. Then what is next? So we can use the other options like as our case study says, we can create some columns, derived columns. And without previous to the derived columns, we can also click on plus icon and you can see what all what all other options we are having. Like we have select option, we have derived options, we have aggregate option, we have surrogate option, we have pivot, unpivot, window ranking. So all of these we are going to use, okay, very soon. And we can do filter also. Okay, but before going to filter, what we can do, we can select on derived columns. Okay, so if we have to drive the columns, what column we need to drive, we can refer to our case study once again. So if I go, so these are the drive columns I want to create. I want to create a net column, net amount, and I want to create a discount rate column. And this is the concept behind the net amount. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I can hit on this, and yeah, if you want to make it maximize, you can see the derived columns. Now you have an option to add your columns. So you have to add the column as net amount. Okay, and what is the expression here? You can hit on this expression and click on this open expression builder. Okay, and we can see what expression we want to write. We want to write that if amount is not null, first of all, this is an AND operator, guys. These double pipe is nothing but an AND operator. And what is the meaning of is null? Is null will check there. It should only pick those values which is not null for the amount, and those value which is not null for the discount column. Okay. And if condition. So best thing is I should copy this and open in a notepad plus plus. Right? Why? Because I always prefer notepad plus plus to write the expressions. I'm going to click on new. I will paste it here, and I can select language as SQL, because this language is mapping, you know is looking as same as SQL. This is SQL only. So for if condition, so this is our logic. So if this is true, if both are null, if both okay is null, okay, then we should put null value, right? So if both are null, then we should put null value. If amount is also null and discount is also null, then what it will show in the result, it will show null value. And if any of them is not null, right, what it will do, it will do amount minus discount. Okay, this is the calculation it is going to perform. So actually we have to do a simple calculation, like if I write this, if I want to subtract this, right, what I should do, I should directly do this way, amount, and this is minus and discount. This is what we want to do. Right? But what are the options if I'm having null as well? This is the only thing we need to perform. Okay, and if I'm going to do this, right, imagine I have done this, I just saved it, simple, amount minus discount. I can click on save and finish. Okay, it is showing type mismatch error. Why it is showing type mismatch error? Because our data type is basically a string, and in a string we cannot perform this activity, right? Because we cannot subtract two strings together. That's why it is showing an error. Okay, got it? You can see here, if you go to select, and if you can see the inspect, all the data type is a string, right? So do you think this is the right data type? No, it is not a right data type. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to convert this data type as a because without string we have to convert these as a decimal, or you can say integer, every, then only you can perform your calculations. Okay, so this is the problem here. So what we have to do, we have to first create this as a two string or two decimal. Okay, this is known as typecasting. Okay, so basically, these two strings cannot be subtracted. So we have to use typecasting expression, that is nothing but two decimal, okay, or two integer. So what I will do, I will keep this decimal inside two decimal. Oh, sorry, I just kept is decimal, that is incorrect. So I should use two decimal, and within this decimal, I have to just bring my amount here. Similarly, I have to again click on two decimal, and I have to bring my discount here within this two decimal. Okay. Now you can see the error has moved out. So I'm subtracting both the values. Now the first problem is solved. But my next problem is, what if amount is null or discount is null, right? So I can use if conditions also, right? So as I can see, my expression says that. So I can just give you, this piece of information. So what is the syntax of if? So basically, if syntax work like this. So if there is a logic, we have to first test the logic. Okay, and after testing the logic, it should be, if logic is true. Okay, if logic is true, then we will give the true condition. True condition. If my logic is true, then it will give a true condition. And if logic is false, if this is false, it will give you the false condition, right? So if condition works on true and false. So what is my logic here in this statement? My logic is simple. If I break down this one in a different line, okay. So what is my logic? This is my logic. The logic is, if my is null, whether it is null or not null. So if amount is null or if discount is null, but this is not or, this was and operator, and how and operator works. If both is null, then only logic will become true. Okay, so for example, I'm saying if I'm having any record, okay, where both the things is null, like this, correct? Then this will become true. And what it will generate for net amount, it will also result in null. For net amount, also result in null. So this is my true logic. But if neither of them is null, okay, like this condition, this amount is there but discount is not there, right? So what it will do, it will give you amount minus discount. Okay, so this is the condition. Okay, so again, but before applying this subtraction, we need to convert this into decimal portion. So that's why we have used 2 decimal. Any questions, guys? Okay, so you can write if condition. So you can see if condition true expression, then any false expression. Okay, so how we can do this? We can put our cursor in the beginning. We can put here. We can again, put this bracket here, and I will put this bracket at the back. And here I have to write the logic, the first expression. So what is my first expression? In this first expression, first of all, I should separate this out here, okay? Because this is my last condition, guys. This 2 decimal amount minus this is my last condition, okay? If I go to the logic which I want to build, this is my last condition, last portion of it. The first thing I have to write this is null amount, this thing, right? So I can just copy it here to save my time. What I will do, I will just paste it. Okay, but this amount, okay, this amount and discount is same. So this is my logic. And if this logic is true, what I should do, I should just put the null value. Okay, so null value I can put, right? I can put null, simple. And if my logic is false, then it should subtract both of the things. Okay, just a second. Yeah, this looks fine, but again, so again error. Okay, just wait. It should not be like this. It should be like this. Sorry, it should be single quote null. Hmm, okay. This looks fine. Let me save this. This is causing a problem. Okay. I will hit on this and I will just drag it here. Just a second. Okay. There is a problem, guys. Okay, let me check out. So we will apply the if condition at some other place. Here, null value is taken care automatically. Okay, by the system only. Okay, so they, we should not bother about the null value because after this we are just filtering out with the null character. Okay, now so we can just save and finish. So this is the first thing that we have achieved. We can add another column, right? And this time we have to add our next column. Next column is discount rate. Okay, and how discount rate can be calculated? It can be calculated using discount divided by amount multiplied by 100. So this is a simple mathematical expression we are having. We don't have to worry about it. We can just hit on open expression builder. So discount, where is the discount? You can just see here discount, and here this is the division part divided by amount, and we can put brackets. Okay, the way we are writing the mathematical expression. Okay, then we'll have to put the, okay, so this will give you the discount rate. Okay, you can see this is the discount rate. So again, we have added the null character here. Okay, but right now we are not using if conditions as of now for null. So but simply we cannot do the division also. Why? The same problem, because these are strings right now, because we have used CSV file, so we have to typecast this once again. Okay, so if you see, then this error will is actually nothing but a typecast error. Just a second. If you drag here, if you click here, okay, anyways, let me do this way. Two, just a second. We should click on function and then we should write 2 decimal. We should put our cursor in the beginning and then select the 2 decimal. Okay, and we should brought our discount here within the 2 decimal. 1 second. Okay, similarly, what you can do, you can put like 2 decimal once again. Okay, you can hit on this. You can select the entire amount and can put inside the 2 decimal. Okay, now you can see the error has resolved. You can click on save, and then what you can do, you can hit on this data preview. So this will give you the uh, rates. Now, but again, the rate, the decimal places is too much, right? So in 2 decimal also, we should, we can use the precision scale and format. Okay. So for example, let's try this out. Otherwise, it will give you the weird value. So 2 decimal, you can put comma. Okay. You can put 2. You just try this out. Click on save and again refresh this. What changes it will brought to you? So this is, you can see what changes it brought. Oh, it has provided all the null values. Okay. So hold on, put 10 comma 2. Just use this. So length will be 10, scale will be 2. Sorry, it I put. Okay. Just a second. See, what it is saying, value means any value, then precision, integral, scale. Okay, I have kept 10 as a precision, sorry. So it is giving me 10 values, okay? Okay, so my bad, it should not be like this. Let's do it by default right now, okay? Got it? Okay, so this is the conversion. Any questions so far? So next thing is, so these are the two derived columns we have created. So if you see now we have total 8 columns here, 6 coming from the source from select queries and 2 columns we have added. So if you want to just click on data preview, you can just click on data preview. You can hit on refresh and wait for this to be completed. Okay, you can see the data is there. You have null value, we have discount, net amount. Okay, we have discounts. Got it? So we have total 5 records as of now. So I tested only for 5 records. So if you have more records will be visible here. Okay. So the next element we can produce here is the filter. And this is the last element for today. And then we can pick up, more additional features like aggregations and other things tomorrow. Okay. Based on the same data set. So filters. So what do you want to filter? You want to filter with anything. Okay. Let me, you can filter with the help of null values. You can filter with the help of, region, amount, everything. Okay. So I need to filter out rows with null, amount or region. Okay. So I can write this expression by checking in my, if it is, not equals to null. So I should be only processing the data to the next step or toward the sink if my amount is not null and region is not null. This is AND operator. Okay. So this expression I want to just put. However, you can apply any kind of filters. So I just kept a filter. Okay. And inside I just have to hit here. This is the option of filter on. This is star mark. This is incoming stream. Incoming stream means it was coming from here, derived column. So automatically it is selected derived columns. Okay. If you want to add a description, you can add it. You can hit on this open explorer. And what is my intention? My intention is to, process only those records for amount which is not null and region should not be equals to, null. Okay. So what I should do, you can see this is a not operator. And what is this? This is a AND operator. Okay. And this is the OR operator. Sorry, it was a OR operator. Okay. Double pipe. Okay. So if you find is null here, right, you can go to function once again and you can type. So for example, whenever you have to search any expression, you have to click on functions. You should just the way I have clicked on function, you can add here is null. Okay, so you can see is null, then any expression. You can see here, if you put the cursor here, check if the value is null. For example, is null, null is, so for example, null, this is always a null value, right? This is a false. This is not null. This blank is not null. This is a false. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I will hit here and what I'm going to do is I will hit again on all element. I will filter this out and I'm checking for amount, right? I'm checking for amount and I'm putting and operator. And once again, I will go inside the functions. I will type is null. Okay. Then again within is null, what I will do, I will go inside all and I will click for amount, right? So this will give me the filter criteria and I will hit on the refresh icon. So I believe we have total 5 entries. There could be a possible way that something got filtered out. Okay, so most of the things are filtered out. Let's see. This is the output. So this is filtered, this is filtered. I don't know. Oh, sorry, my bad. I kept both the amount, okay? So that's why all the elements are getting filtered out, okay? Okay, so what I should do, it should be region, right? It should be region. I can hit on the region and I can save and finish once again. Okay, and I just have to test it here. I will hit on refresh. Let me see how many records are getting filtered out. Okay, got it. So region, we don't have any null value. So amount, this is the null value. So this will be filtered out like this. Anyways, I will click on save and finish. And because I cannot publish this data flow unless and until any sync is there. So I will hit on this sync plus icon and I will use sync option. Okay, this is the sync destination, and obviously sync I need to create a data set because I am going to create a file. So I'm going to create in AD less than 2 only with the CSV. So it's the same sync, the sync that we have created for copy activity, right? So I can give the sync sales data, something like that I can mention. I will hit on link services. I will click on this data flow. Okay. And I can give the name. Okay. I can give some directory like output within the same container and I will hit on none. Okay. So here we have other options also. We should keep everything simple. Okay. And the only thing is that in optimize, if I want to generate in one single file, I will hit on single partition. Okay, otherwise, if there are more number of records, then separate files will be generated. But here in my case, I am only having 5 records, but still I am using this single partition so that only one file has to be generated. Okay, then what I will do, you can see this, the net amount and discount rate is coming as decimal. Why? Because this is the only field that we have translated into decimals. Got it? When we are creating a derived columns, we have translated into decimal by using typecast method. So you can see the sync, and the last thing before depositing into CSV file, before generating the output in CSV file, you can see the data as well. So you can hit on refresh and we'll wait for the data to be refreshed, but no output data is refreshed. Why? Because we have applied a filter where it filtered both the values. Okay. So let's if I remove this filter, imagine if I'm removing this filter, okay, because we have no such condition has fulfilled, okay, that's the reason. Let's give the year equals to 20, year equals to 2000, okay, but we don't have a data for 2000, so that's why I'm giving the filter just for sake of, or you can say year greater than 2000, okay, year greater than 2000. Got it? And because year is a string, right? So we should give this as a string, should always comes under single quotes. Okay. So imagine this filter I have used. Now you can see the data preview. I will refresh this and the data will come. Got it? Because all the year is coming more than 2000. Okay. So the data is coming. So what I'm going to do is this is the data flow. I can publish my data flow, and this is under pipeline 1. This is a simple pipeline I have created using data flow. Okay. And we will run this data flow to see what is the output. This pipeline is completed. Let me change the name. I have not given a logical name. So I'm just changing it to PL underscore DF test, something like that. Data flow test. Okay. So I just publish it again and I can hit on debug. Okay, so it's done. So I will hit on debug and will wait for this to be completed. So guys, this is completed. You can see it is succeeded. Okay, so if it is succeeded, I can go inside my container. I can refresh this because I created one directory which is output directory, and in that output directory, this is the file which is generated because of data flow. So I can download also, or I can just click on edit also, but I'm downloading it. So I just opened this download and I can see this data was generated. The net amount is generated, net discount rate is generated. Okay, and you can see 2.5 and all the values are null because discount was null and amount was null, right? This is the thing. So far, any questions?